fall. And guess what? If I'm on the cliff, I'm subject not to fall. Not because God says that I'm able to fall. Not that God is saying that I'm going to lose the grip. It's because I'm refusing to hold on to God's will. See, God lets us know that everything that we go through is not going to be the same. But see, we don't want to be stretched. We want the same playing field. We want the easy way out. But Midian had to deal with, watch this, mountain cliffs. Meaning that they were going to be able, meaning, watch this. If I'm dealing with a mountain cliff, that means I have to be careful where I go. I have to be careful to my attachment. See, my load can't be heavy. What do you mean by that? In other words, the stuff that I used to be able to carry, I can't carry that foolishness anymore. The people that I used to be able to carry, I can't carry those people any longer. Maybe it's me and God now. You do what you need to do to get to where God needs you to get to. But for me and God, I gotta hold on. And I can't carry you and carry me. I can't carry this man. I can't carry this woman. I can't carry these children. I can't carry my brother now. I can't carry my sister now. I gotta do this thing between me and God because where I'm going, I can't carry the load that I used to carry over that man. And he says, watch this. So then it says, and strongholds. In other words, I'm going to deal with some areas that have pits in it, that have quicksand in it. I got to deal with some areas that is not easily to overcome. So what is happening? So now I got to exercise more faith. Where I was weak and ready to give up, easily intimidated. And every time the wind blow, I was always changing to the environment. But now I can't change to the environment because I already know what's in front of me. So if I get to where I'm going with the same demeanor, with the same attitude, yes, I'm going to be swallowed up. Yes, I will never be in the right position to be who God has created me to be because I'm still dealing with yesterday. I'm still dealing with the old timid feelings. I'm still dealing with the things in which God has already told me enough is enough. See, stretching is necessary for the Christian true identity. It says whenever the Israelites planted their crops, the Midianites, the Amalekites, and the other eastern people invaded the country. Yeah, that's not my message. Now watch this. Watch this. Whenever. Somebody say whenever. Whenever. God never gave them a time frame as to what to complete and when. Right. He left that totally up to them. This is us. When God entrusts us with a whenever, He's not expecting to come back and see us on the same terrain, in the same position. Have you gotten up and moved yet? Have you accepted your calling yet? And if you did, why there's no movement? Why are you still on the same terrain? He says, whenever the Israelites planted their crop, the Midianites, the Amalekites, and the eastern people invaded the country. And so there was always an invasion because their whenever did not have a plan attached to it. We just be trial and living our lives just like we want to. And God is saying, baby, you need to line up and put some structure in your life. And stop living from day to day as if you don't have a call. Well, I have now gathered you and blessed you and prepared you to be greater than where you are and what you're dealing with. Many times when we're dealing with life issues, we feel like the life issues is it. Baby, you need to be able to look at that cliff. You need to be able to look at that mountain. You need to be able to look at that cave. You need to be able to look at that stronghold and say next. Tell your neighbor next. Then it says they camped on the land and ruined the crops all the way to Gaza. and did not spare any a living thing for Israel. Watch this. Neither sheep nor cattle nor donkey. They came up with their livestock and their tents like swarm of locusts. Now watch this. Says they camped on the land and ruined the crops all the way to Gazan, and did not spare a living thing for Israel, neither sheep nor cattle nor donkey. What is so encouraging in that? If they did all of this, why is Israel still functioning? If they destroyed everything they had, why is Israel still functioning? You know why? Because the hand of God is upon their life. You may can destroy their crops, but you can't destroy them. When you take one crop, there's one before you start clapping, because we get happy on that one. But I want you to get happy on this one. All right? If they're willing to take one crop, did your demeanor change when they take it, or did you whine and complain? If you were blessing God when they took that one, are you going to continue to bless God when they take everything? We have sporadic blessing God. I can bless God on this thing, but I can't. Oh, you asking me to bless Him in that? This just happened to me, and you want me to bless God in this? Now I can bless Him with that. I could bless Him. I could bless Him when I didn't get the parking space when I pulled in at Walmart, and I just have to walk a few more steps. I can bless Him when I got to my workstation and my computer was crashed and I couldn't get all my work. I can bless Him. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I can bless Him on that, but I can't bless Him though. Watch this. If I lose my job, I don't have a praise Him if I lose my job. Or can I bless Him? Can I watch this? Can I bless Him when my family is not acting right? Can I bless Him when my children ain't acting right? Can I bless Him if my husband is not acting right? Can I bless Him when my money is gone? Can I bless Him if my car is stolen? Can I bless Him when it don't look right? Can I bless Him when I don't have everything? Can I still bless Him if I have to go to the hospital? Can I bless Him if I have a breath in my body to say, God, I still thank you? Can I bless Him if they give me a bad report at the hospital? Can I bless Him? Good. So they even though their things were being taken, can you still bless Him? Now they're being stretched. The stretching is necessary. They came up with their livestock and their tents like swarms of locusts. So someone said, bless Him. Bless Him. Even in difficult places. Even in difficult places. Now watch this. It was impossible to count them or their camels, meaning the enemy. Somebody say impossible. Impossible. When something is impossible, that means it rules out any probability of there being any type of success. So there were so many against Israel that it was impossible for Israel to number them. But it was just right for God to number them. What is impossible for you is not impossible for God. What we can't handle, God can handle. And even though things may not seem right or feel right, it doesn't mean that it's impossible to God. And I want to share something with you for those who are taking notes. Impossible is a setup for our faith to be increased. Impossible situations will push you to a place, or should push you to a place of believing God when you've never believed God before. When we are facing impossible things in our career, we get a greater momentum. But when we are facing impossible things in the body of Christ and in the household of faith, we feel defeated. We feel like we have lost everything, that we don't have anything. Baby, the world is not greater than your God. So if I can gain momentum in impossible things on my job, then I can gain momentum in impossible things in the earth realm. According to what God is calling me to, according to where God is calling me to live, and according to what God is calling me to do and according to what God is calling me to be. So if I'm facing an impossible thing concerning my spiritual growth, concerning my life, and I have learned how to be a trailblazer in the world, certainly impossible is a stepping stone to my next level. So why is impossible crippling? Why is impossible paralyzing? Why is impossible frightening? Only when it comes to the things of God is impossible paralyzing, that we remain stagnant. We remain unmovable when it comes to living the life that God has called us to. We look at impossible of being. Can I share something with you? Yes. So Brandon said still an encouraging word. The reason why impossible affects the average believer is because a believer does not want to live the life that God is calling him over to. So when we face impossible things, just through mere communication, communicate. The impossible is because I'm not interested in doing or facilitating what I should. Or be intentional about your spiritual life and growth. Well, it's impossible because my job lets me off at this time. And I have to be at work at this time, or I have schoolwork, homework at this time. So it's impossible for me to spend time with God because I'm at work, or I have this study group, or I have this report to do. It's impossible. But it's so available for you to have time in order to be successful on that job. You have plenty of time to complete anything on the job, any assignment. God is the only person that we see impossible and stamp, I can't. But work, I'm flourishing. I may be drowning, but I'm still flourishing. School, I may be drowning, but I'm still flourishing. And the reason why I say flourishing is because I still have movement going on. I'm not stagnant at work because I'm still working. It's only impossible to grow when I don't want it. It's not convenient for my lifestyle. We have many convenient believers that don't want to be stretched to be who God has called them to be. Says they invaded the land to ravage it. Midian so impoverished the Israelites that they cried out, Charmaine, they cried out to the Lord for help. I want to stick a pin. We don't mind telling God the problem. What we do mind is God's solution to the problem. I cry out. Well, let's go back. Let's go back to Egypt. The children of Israel in Egypt, they cried out. They had sinned against God. And the reason why they cried out is because they were under harsh conditions. And the Bible says they cried out. This is how you know that their cry was circumstantial and had nothing to do with a heart posture change. It was circumstantial because after Moses went through with Pharaoh and God released them from Pharaoh, from Egypt, they waited till they got out in the land to blame Moses for their deliverance. Yeah. So why was you crying out now? Help me to understand. If your cry was because you wanted to live the life for God, then now why are you blaming God for the result that you now have? Why are you blaming God? Now that God is saying you release, but you release. Oh, come on, somebody, talk to me. You release, so there has to be a but in our lives whenever God shows up on the scene. We can't just willy-nilly cry and want something fixed our way. But in our cry, we must be willing to have ears to hear. It is a cry of release, and there's a cry of relief. They were crying out for relief. Just release me from this situation. Get me out of this thing because I'm tired of it. Not that I want to be released from my mindset, that I want to be released from my heart, that I want to be released from my sin. Lord, I know that I don't sinned against you, so I want to be released, Lord God, from this sin that has got me in the position that I'm in anyway, Lord God. So I already know, Lord, where I am, and I know how I got there. I don't want just release from this situation, release from my family, release from my children, release from these bills, release from this medical condition. I know the doctor done said this to me, but I just want to be released. No, baby, we got to be released from these things. Release from poverty thinking. Release from poverty mindset. Release from the lack of zeal for God. Release from the sinful nature. Release from the anger. Release from the sins. Release from the doubt. Release from the depression. Release from the anxiety. Release from the obstruction. Release from those things, secret things that have held us captive against God's will. Because our cry does not constitute release. No, it constitutes release. Get me out of this. I want help now. I'm not asking you to give me a plan. And the reason why most believers don't ask for a plan is because they don't intend on keeping the agreement. So give me relief. I'm asking you for what I want. And I love God because God will give us the relief. But even in the relief, there's an attachment of love. You can't just get what you want from God and be like, tra la la, I'm gone. I got what I want, now I'm done. No. Tell your neighbor, he's coming back. Have that relief. You may have want what you want, but God coming for what He has called you to be. Oh, come on, somebody. You got to believe that. So when the Israelites cried out, Mr. Thomas, watch this. He sent them a prophet. He didn't send them relief. He sent them a word. The word that they really didn't want. When the Israelites cried out to the Lord because of Midian, He sent them a prophet. Who said? He didn't stroke them and say, baby, come here. Come here, baby. Come here. I know you've been hurting for a long time. And I know you've been dealing with this issue for a long time. And I know you've been going to this doctor for a long time. Or I know you've been on that job dealing with this situation for a long time. I know. The prophet didn't say that. This is what the prophet said. This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. I brought you up out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. I rescued you. I didn't relieve you. I rescued you from the hand of the Egyptians, and I delivered you from the hand of all your oppressors. So in other words, he said every attachment oppresses is not necessarily in the physical. It can be mentally. It can be emotionally. It can be psychologically. He said, I have released you. I have rescued you from all of your oppressors. Baby, tell your heart and your mind, I've been released from that thing. I've been released from the pain. I've been released from the, come on, I've been rescued. The North Pastor say, I've been rescued. I've been rescued from my oppressors. I've been rescued from the past pain. I've been rescued from the past hurt. I've been rescued from the past disappointment. I've been rescued from the trauma. I've been rescued from the rape. I've been rescued from the left behind. I've been rescued because they forgot about me. They threw me away. They told me that I wasn't going to be anything. So it kept running over and over in my mind. Kept trying to destroy my identity. Kept trying to destroy my destiny. It says I've been rescued from all of my oppressors. Anything that has come up in my mind and my heart that have made me feel or believe that I can't get out, that I'm not an overcomer, that I'm not healed, that I'm not delivered, that I'm not set free, that God is not my deliverer, that God is not my healer, that God is not my strong tower, that God is not my friend, that God is not my deliverer. Anything that has come to oppress me, God says that I have rescued you. Now watch this. Anytime that there has been a rescue, that doesn't mean that you won't forget about what you were rescued from. That means that you will give God praise for the rescue. So every time you think about the trauma, every time you think about the pain, every time you think about the disappointment, you begin to shout and give God glory because you remember when God rescued you. You remember when God taught you out. You will remember that God was the one that did it for you. You will remember that God was the one that healed you. You will remember that God was the one that got you healed. You will remember that it was God that did it just for you. So tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, I've been rescued from all my oppressors. Psychologically, personal, all anxiety, all stress, all depression, all pain, even in God said that He will rescue me from it all. Every time I think about captivity, I think about I've been rescued. And when I think about the oppression, I think about I've been rescued. No matter how we laugh, captivity break me down. I will laugh, the pain keep me down. I will laugh, what has happened to me, get a grand glory. I am find out that whatever give me now, because I'm going to give God glory. I know that I've been saved. I know that He rescued me. And because He rescued me, I'm going to shout. He brought me out. 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 See, I can't live a life in comfortability any longer. I have to be ready to be stretched at all times. Stretched away from my captivity. Stretched away from my oppressors. In other words, when I'm being stretched, that means that there is more that is pulling me out of where I was. When I'm being stretched, that means that I'm being released. in that terrain. There's no stretching. But baby, I want you to know something. That God don't stretch us to break us. Stretch us so that we can walk in our calling. Because if he stretch me, then he's going to develop me. If he stretch me, he's going to raise me to a new level in my mind, a new level in my prayer. I won't be praying. That's the obedient prayer. I won't be shouting. That's the obedient dance. I won't be praying what I used to pray. I won't shout what I used to shout. I won't lift my hands just because the crowd is doing it. But I do it because he rescued me. He stretched me to come out. He stretched me to bring me out. Hallelujah. Can nobody do it like God? Tell your neighbor, say neighbor. Tell God, stretch me, God. Don't leave me in a stagnated place. I want to grow. I want to become. I want to be. Don't leave me here. Everything that you calling me to, I want to live it out. I want to come out. I want to be able to be who God calling me to be. Stretch me, God, because I know you won't break me. Hallelujah. Stretch me. I want you to miss this though. Watch this in my closing. It says, I rescued you from the hand of the Egyptians. He says, I took you. I rescued you. I took you from your immediate oppressor. You have been in that thing, and somebody out here has been in a situation for a long time. And God says, I rescued you from your immediate situation. And then I freed you. I rescued you from the oppressors of your life. Because when you have been oppressed for a long time, it plays on you psychologically. Meaning you can come out, but you never get yourself out. And the cycle to live sadness shows that you haven't physically stepped out. My God. Even though he done rescued you out. We still in it. Playing it in our minds. Like a 45 record. If you put that record on, it'll keep playing. And then when it gets to the end, it starts scratching. And then we'll pick it up and start it back at the beginning. So we'll start playing the oppressor through our minds over and over and over and over and over and over and over. God is saying, I rescued you. Woo. Why are you doing like the album? Why are you playing the captivity over absent? Watch this. Absent of giving me glory for rescuing you. Somebody may say, but I can't think about nothing else but that. But you've been rescued. And it ends there because you're out. Think about the rescue. When you think about the captivity, how can you play the rescue? How can you play the captivity? Absent of the rescue. Help me to understand how I'm going to play the captivity over and over. Live by David. Wasn't there enough graves in Egypt? We should have just stayed in Egypt. I'm looking at the believer's life and saying, are you acting like you should have stayed in Egypt? You've been free from every condition. But you keep using excuses to your current state that does not reflect that you have been rescued. Where did you get that from? You took on another identity and another personality in being rescued. You're still sitting. You're taking on another personality. Watch this. When we were still complacent, still sitting, we take on the victimization attitude that I was absent of I am. We talk more about I was, which then, watch this, recreate another path of hurt. Because then we begin to ask, well, God, why did you leave me in there so long? God, why did they have to do it that way? Now we have another path of psychological strongholds that I didn't deserve that. I should have got something better. You way away from you was first talking about I was. Now you're talking about what you didn't deserve. Now you're talking about it shouldn't have happened to you that way. So it's no longer then that you was. Now it's about what you don't deserve. Now it's about what shouldn't have happened. Now it's about who you are now, absent of who God has called you to be. So when will stretching ever take place? Because you keep it the victim. And see, this is what happens. We begin to attach all sorts. We begin to attach. Grab me. We begin to attach. We begin to attach ourselves, and we get so confused. We don't realize. I don't know where to begin anymore. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to start. I don't know what's my real identity. And then I bring it along. I'm forcing my way to get up to come to church. But I'm forcing all the identities. I'm forcing all the identities to come with me. And where they want to let go, now I'm holding on to them. Because now it's going to become comfortable. Don't you leave me. Don't you leave me. I'm trying to figure out why I can't pray. Why prayer didn't change anything for me. Why? I've been asked. I want them to go along with me because I've been comfortable. So letting go begins to be impossible. Watch this. Some will leave. I let some of them go. But these two, God is trying to stretch me absent of the identity that I have allowed myself to be. So when correction comes, we get offended because we can still won't deal with the fact that I'm still holding on to something that I have created to keep me from just being who God has created me. Because freedom has no attachment unless it's ones that we go back. don't you let me go? And I'm comfortable. Where I go, you go. They don't understand. We've been in this thing for a long time. So my intent is not about movement, not about being stretched. My intent is I'm not letting these go. I'm not letting this issue go. I'm not letting this mindset go. I'm not letting this pain go. I'm not letting this hurt go. I'm not letting this feeling. I'm waiting on someone. Come get me, Minister Martin. I'm waiting on someone to come tell me what to do. Come get me to move. Come get me to move. Thank you, Minister Martin. Well, wait a minute. I'm not ready to go that fast. Just give me. Well, okay. Well, wait. Well, well, hold on, Minister Martin. You done told me I got to do it. Wait. Hold up. Let me explain something to you. What I've been through, wait, you wasn't there with me when I. Okay, wait. Oh, Minister Martin, you've been too aggressive. I got confidence for you. Okay, watch this. Now watch this, y'all. Wait.
Take your shoes off, because I don't want you to hurt yourself on this musical part.
I want y'all to understand this is what.
All right, you ready? Let's go. Matter of fact, this microphone snoring you guys. Come on.
Okay. Not too fast, Mr. Martin. Right here. This is what we do. Minister Martin done left me alone. And then showed me the way I should go. Right? I go down and I get on my knees. I cry out to God. I get up and I do this. I get up and I do this. She talked to me while she was driving. She told me that I could be what God told me to be. And as soon as Minister Martin let go, we do what we normally do before God. We lie. I went on my knees and I said, God, I need your help. Again, absent of a true turn or change in this stretching. But I know the posture of neology. I just won't let go of getting up, being intentional about my life between me and God and what God is calling me to do. He's calling for a stretch, and I won't develop it. God is not going to stretch and develop at the same time. He's going to stretch until there is a cutoff between us and whatever we have taken on to oppress us. He's going to keep stretching us He knows how far to go. We will pop the rubber band. But God strategically knows how to stretch us. And we're telling God, well, let me do what's familiar. Let me start by talking. I don't want to talk. I'm not talking to you about this again. And then we start hearing imaginary conversation between us and God. Well, God told me this and God told me that, but you. I pray today that you heard this word of being stretched from where you are. I know you've had some mountains, some cliffs, and some strongholds. But in each one of those, it should have been a time of stretching, growth, letting go, believing, and being. Come on and stand to your feet.